Welcome to our Africa Tech segment. Nigeria has a highly advanced space program operated by its space agency, the National Space Research and Development Agency, which was established in 2001. The space program has recorded several success stories and has launched 5 satellites into orbit between 2003 to 2011. Some of these satellites are still functional and report data from outer space, bringing services to the larger West Africa. Our guest today, Temidayo Oniosun, a space scientist, is here with us to discuss the latest developments in the space industry. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm sure a lot of people don't know about this. So tell us about the Nigerian space sector.
Yes, so the Nigerian space sector is one of the biggest in Africa. We've had so many success stories, many satellites launch. We've had Earth observation satellites, communication satellites, even nano satellites, and it's what we classify as an emerging space nation. And it's currently one of the biggest in Africa. Now, we have so many success stories and so many ongoing projects. For example, the Space Agency recently established the NASDAQ Institute to help in capacity development. Also, Nigeria is leading the bid for the host of the African Space Agency. So stories like this around, and the Nigerian space industry is living to the expectation.
Okay, do you think we're investing enough in space and technology?
Unfortunately, no, we're not. The Nigerian space budget is divided into 3 major sections. The National Space Research and Development Agency, Nigerian Communications Satellite Limited, and also the Defense Space Administration. According to a business analysis done by Space in Africa that covers 2009 to 2019, we realized the Nigerians spent an average of $35 million on space every year. That's relatively low. That's about the same amount, the same budget for Aso Rock in a year. This is low compared to countries like South Africa, Algeria, even Egypt. So we need to step up the game when it comes to space investments.
Okay, what opportunities are we missing out by not investing a lot into space?
There are a lot of problems that we can solve with space technologies. According to research, 80% of the problems the Nigerian face could be addressed with better information, and space adds an important dimension to this. So if we invest in space, we can solve most of our major problems: security, growth in sectors like agriculture, the environmental sector, things like that.
Okay, but what does the government need to do to scale up in the sector?
To start with, I think the government needs to invest more in research and development in our institutions, including universities. We need spin-offs to come out of our institutions, our universities. For example, currently the space industry is being driven by the government, but we need to get the commercial guys to be involved in this. So we need the government to encourage more commercial activities in the space industry.
Okay, let's talk about some of the emerging space programs in Africa we should be expecting this year. Are there any?
Oh, yes, definitely. We're closer to an African space agency than ever. Nigeria, Ethiopia, and Egypt are bidding to host the African Space Agency. While Egypt might be winning the bid, there are so many good things that are going to come out of this. 2019, we have new countries in Africa joining the space race. Egypt is launching the satellite before the end of this month. In April, a small satellite built by high school students in South Africa will be launched. Rwanda is also launching a satellite in April. That's their first satellite. Countries like Ivory Coast, Zimbabwe, Mauritius are also working on satellite projects, which is very good for the continent.
Okay, how close are we to sending anyone into space?
Here
in Nigeria. We're not close.
We're not close.
Well, we'll have to keep hoping. Space scientist Temidayo Oniosun, thank you for joining us on Network Africa.
Thank you for having me.